All right, so the last presentation for today, I'm honored to give you a presentation about what's new in 2025. In general, we have done about 101 slides about what's new in 2025. So there will be a lot of minutes to do that. So I realized that it will probably, because of the last presentation, not be good. So I decided to do a handpicking of the most important features that highlights the 2025 version. So I shorted to the half, and stick to me because there are some things that are not in the official presentation for 2025 SP3. So there will be a couple of things that are completely new. So let's start. I will start with general. I like this, and also to say thank you to Sydney, because this is Sydney's work. Amazing job with also developers who did this feature. Finally, we can, please. Sydney, thank you. This is something that everybody were waiting for such a long time to have cylinder stock done in any coordinate system around any axis. This was so needful, and what I particularly like that he will detect any solid that you can see here as an example. With a custom coordinate system, we can analyze the whole model and propose the minimum stock there. So I love this feature. Thank you, Sydney, for this. The next one that I like, it's we put updated stock in the pocket recognition. So now you will see there, we have the stock there. We have also the target fixture also. And now we will completely remove unnecessary toolpath, and we will take stock into account. So that's great. And there are a couple of nice options that you can really manipulate with how much you want to extend this, and etc. Let's go next. My favorite. I see that many of you already using it, and I like it very much. Finally, I mean, besides of clicking on the machine preview, which I personally like to do, especially in the Milton and Swiss, I like this one too. This example is from the milling job, but if you have multiple turrets, we will organize them by the turret itself, which makes your life much more easier. And furthermore, we will also analyze and filter the tool by the tool type. So it's so nice, it's so good, I like it, I love it. Thank you very much for this. Let's go next. I love this feature as well. In drilling, many times I click on the surface, I get a lot of holes already selected. Now you have an option to select the boundary to include or to exclude the selected holes. And this is a very nice feature. Let's go next. Additional option in motion control, especially when you're doing the wrap. Many of you know in the 4th axis that machine will go in particular C-axis direction. And in SolidCAM, by far, we always had an option to go directly to the shortest path, but that will accumulate a lot of C-axis, especially if you have many down steps, and eventually you can reach the machine C-axis limit. So now you have an option to unwrap to the same direction with rapids. So very nice improvements in 2.5D wrap. All right. I love this one. If you define any of your jobs from the template, you can modify your template, and then you have an option synchronize with the link template. So everything, if any jobs that you predefine from the template, we will recognize that, and it will be automatically synchronized and calculated. So another one that was very needful, especially when we are now in Milton, Swiss type edge. Our customers that have also milling machines, Milton machines, and Swiss type machines, they don't use the same clearances. So the clearances we were always, how should I say, the clearances are not the same for the milling, Milton, and Swiss. We all know that. So I was always thinking about that we need an option that will be connected to the post. And by the way, this, even if it's the VMID itself, this is something that user can change by themselves. And you have an option to put for your machine custom clearances, go to your SolidCAM settings, and decide whether you want to use the global settings or you want to use the one that is defined inside the VMID. Let's go to the toolkit. I'm going to have a lot of live demonstrations on most of these features, but those are just the highlights that we have. I always liked import tool assembly from CAD, but one of the, we always constantly improve this feature, okay? But now I love it because we have now an option for every individual component to change the reference coordinate system, to change the resolution, okay? I like when I have very complex assembly, but I want my cutter to be very detailed, while other rest of the holder, I wish that it's done with more rough resolution. Now I can do it. So my assembly, it's really optimized. So the output is very optimized. We also have very nice option switch joint with mounting data. So basically what this option does, we read the next component coordinate system and automatically create a joint. That allows us to use any of these components that are defined here in any other components. I'm going to show you that also tomorrow. Next one, I love this one, duplicate. We analyze the previous component, how many joints it has. This one, it's typical example where you can not only, here I just duplicate a couple of whole assembly, but you can think also in the fixtures when you have the tombstone and stuff. So just doing a duplicate, select them all. As you can see here, you will get the list, and the duplicate is done in a single click. Previously, you had to do copy, paste, go to the joint, select the proper joint, and etc. This one, 2 clicks, you're done. Let's go next. In the moments when you lose the 3D model of STL, when this can happen, let's imagine I'm personally using a lot of components. I predefine them, right? But sometimes I rename some file. Maybe I change the folder name. So the link towards this component is gone. Now, when this link is gone, we are not going to show the 3D holder. And when we are not going to show, when we are not showing the 3D holder, we are going to mark it with this symbol. So this means that there is no 3D model. The link is broken. So we have very powerful option just to double-click or just auto-locate, and we are going to give you suggestions based on the same STL name, or you can just find it in another one. Very nice, very useful in the cases when you want to reorganize your libraries, change the links and stuff. We are going to continue to improve even this feature, so stay tuned. We added an option, a new tool type, convex tip mill. It's the high-feed end mill cutter. It's completely supported in 3 and 5-axis toolpaths like HSS, Pro 3D, HSR, HSM, and 3+2 milling. So what it provides, by far, our customers were unable to define this cutter. So the real cutter was not really there. So what they used the workaround. They created like a bullnose mill or a ball-nose mill, which actually resulted to uncracked stock. This one is more realistic stock, and this is the true stock that will be used after using this tool over there. So complete support of this tool through the toolkit and also in our 3-axis and 5-axis toolpath. All right, we finally add this chamfer option in the toolkit, which give us true identification of where are the areas on the part where this tool was used, so we can visually see where still we need to run another tool to remove this chamfer there. So our end mill get this new property. Another one that I like also, you can now use a 3D option to see not only the tool, but also a fixture. So in the environment of SolidWorks, Inventor, or Solid Edge, we will display the whole fixture, and now it's clickable. So all the levels, if you want to select on particular jaws, you can click directly on that surface there. Another one, my favorite, I like it. Many people asking, I want from this cutter my cutting conditions, I want to copy them all, put it in another cutter, saves me a lot of time. We have it now. So just go to one cutter, do a copy, go to another cutter, paste, perfect, done. Oh, my favorite. In milling, we have the outside holder length. That's fine, super, but it's not that intuitive to have similar feature also in turning holders. Yes? So it's not easy to analyze what is the stick out length on turning tools, especially if you have very custom holders or very specific geometries. It is really unknown to the software, is it the last geometry on the holder that is used or not? So what we create is for every holder, you have an option to define your custom stick out point. So as you can see here in this example, my joint is defined at the top, but this is not my stick out point. My stick out point is over there. So now you have an option to define the stick out point, and parallel with that, when you go to the shank, we have an icon there. I'm going to show you that feature tomorrow. Easy way to load. Anytime it happens that I load or install the is it the battery or? So I install the new version of SolidCAM. I use the same settings as I was using in previous version. Now you can just go on this button, click, and he will load everything what you used in previous version. Very nice feature. Let's go next. Outside holder length, predefined involved. Many of you ask why this is locked. It was locked in previous versions of SolidCAM. Now in 2025, you can unlock it. So it means that when you take this tool and mount it to the holder, it will be exactly positioned on the outside holder how you actually want it. Nice one, Facet Model Editor. All of you know that Facet Model Editor it is a very nice feature, but it was always located in the right-click menu of the CAM part. Now, we also give you opportunity to use this feature, opening it from the toolkit. Now, what this means, it also allows you to just go open the toolkit, like offline application, and just load the Facet Model Editor there and modify any of these data. We will do also many improvements in this tool. Many people like to use it, and we will do some improvements in the close future on this tool as well. All right, we have also done amazing job with XML import interface. Harold, if you are here, not? Yes. Great job there. So it allows us to, let's say, interconnect with third-party tools, tool manufacturers to import any tool data as assemblies, multi-cutters, and etc. So it's kind of universal language of our toolkit, allows us to communicate and also import and export the tools. Also input the feeds and speeds, everything is there. Wire EDM. In 2025, we announced reborn of our Wire EDM. I will not talk too much about it, but what I like is that we completely support also 2 axes with the profile, with the constant angle, variable angle, and 4 axes, regardless if that's defined geometry like a wireframe or solid. Amazing, and also the job done with the macro. So, SolidCAM Simulator. A lot of nice features. One that is great, it's added automatic stock splitting option that we have in Solid Verify. Now we have it in SolidCAM Simulator 2. It's located in the right-click button there. We also have the same option. It will have decent effect if you are using the wire EDM. So you can see the output when I will always recommend to use automatic stock by default on. Next one, we improved our wireframe, also for the wire needs. So here you have when you use the precision and when you use the regular wireframe, this is more precise, give you much more input of the wireframe. And the next one, I wanted to use this opportunity to tell you that we already implemented in the test phase. Our SolidCAM simulator is going to be supported by GPU mode. The interface will look like that. You have an option to use the sources from the CPU or GPU, which makes your simulation 10 times faster. So, finally. Thank you to Milan and also to Mark. Great job. So, nice things in turning. First, this is the new one in SP3. For all Swiss type users, we implemented a new option like extension, which gives you two way of how you are going to define your brake material on the corner of the stock. This is extremely important for the guide bushing when you have no option but to return your bar inside the guide bush. But not only that we add the extension, so we have basically two strategies. Either he will go directly and do it like that, or he will do it from the backside. Both advantages we supported. And also the great advantage that we did is that not only you have it in roughing, but you also have it in finishing. Swiss type guys, they know how much this was needed. Perfect. Another one, and finally, also new thing in SP3. Regardless of what machine you're using, is it Okuma, is it Star, is it Citizen, is it this or that? It was always problematic and always need to check what was your approach and return point when you're working on the back tool, back spindle. So in SP3, we automatically calculate your current setup, your current machine definition. We take everything into account and give you automatically what is the correct approach point and retract point. Another, as you can see, if you go back in 1 year, this was the most asked request to, hey, Daniel, we have multi-depth drilling in milling, but in Swiss type, the turning mode was very necessary. So why we just don't use the same interface, same technology also in turning? There you go. We have it. Another update from thread drilling. We now support variable pitch. In 2024, we were able to do only constant pitch. So our users were expecting that, hey, but in most of the cases, we do use the variable pitch. We immediately, 2025, SP3, now we have it. We provide two different inputs of how the pitch change. There is the instant, when the feed is going to the one point to another. There is one feed, and then it goes with another. And there's also gradual. When the gradual is checked, you will see there is the number of segments. So going from point 1 to the point 2, we will change the feed, in the 10 segments and automatically calculate for you. So we have this instant change and gradual change. We both support it. Dynamic turning, we mentioned it a few times over here. You will see still it in beta, okay? There are a couple of reasons for that, but this doesn't mean that you cannot cut the part and stuff. We will soon also create kind of webinar how to modify the post and stuff, so stay tuned. This is very necessary, very needed. And the previous example that I've shown, it's, maybe I can go back. Yeah. This example over here is direct example when we are in XZ plane. So we are using actually the B-axis angle, right? But over here, this is the YZ plane where the rotary axis inside the spindle is used instead. For this, you need a special machine, special option allowed, special TCP mode, and etc. So we both support it now. Next, the MCOs. I have only one feature. There were much more, but I think the most important for this demonstration is that we finally start to work with workpiece coordinate system. In previous versions, we only had movements related to the part coordinate system. But MCOs were always like operator-friendly, right? So we wanted also to make it operator-friendly in the way that now the users can go directly, and instead going to the part coordinate system, now they can go really in the work offset coordinate system input mode. Setup sheet, a lot of improvements. I spoke in my previous presentation that now we can export all the data from channel synchronization. But there is something more. We can also export the data of the holders, also the custom images. Here you can see the setup sheet capture view. Any view that you capture, there is a right click in the machine preview. You hit that button, and when you export it, you will see exactly the same angle, same same picture that you take it from the machine preview, it will be taken into account. So great improvements in that. Because many times the orientation of the holder, the default one, maybe if it's very complex holder, maybe it will not be in correct orientation. So in that case, you need this feature. So you just rotate it into something that is more operator friendly, take a screenshot, and you will see it in the output. We also provide now the output from the manufacturer and catalog number, so those data can also go into a very useful feature. And the whole thing about the fixture, which was not like requested that, oh, the data about the fixture needs to be in the SATA chip. Okay, we got a request, we build it immediately. So we have also now the export. You can see the complete structure the same way how this is defined inside the toolkit. So you have for all of these, and not only any data that you have inside, like manufacturer, catalog number, price, mass, description, also everything can be exported in the very nice output. And finally, the multi-axis machining. So I like this feature. Anytime when you have reached the limits of your first rotary axis, it was a very nice option that we have that we can rewind this axis, and the output was shown in the machine simulation. But I always needed an option to control how I want to retract, how I want to approach, what is the feed for the approach. So this was very much needed in many kinematics. This was essential. So now we have it finally. Perfect. Now we also can select the 3D model in multi-axis machining, also in Pro 3D HSR, HSM, and Auto 3+2. Maybe also, David, you will also mention this. It makes simplified stock definition much easier now. You can just click on the 3D model, and that's it. Also, eliminates the needs to manually select any multiple surfaces as it was done by far. I like this one too. You can really control the tilt range, minimum, maximum, so it's much easier to control, based on the slice normal vector. So we avoid unnecessary movements or potential machine kinematic issues. And very easy, very nice is how you want to start your toolpath, from top to the bottom or bottom to the top. We have it now also here. And this will highlight the 2025 version SP3. Thank you very much for your attention. See you in the taxi.